Talk family, and welcome to another episode of Talk the Talk. I'm your host Desh and joining me today is Noleen Acton. She is the dealer principal amongst so many other things, by the way, but the dealer principal at Toyota Kowie, which I believe is in the Port Alfred area, and that's another long way from Johannesburg. Again, I am so humbled and so honored to have people, and especially women in these roles, join me from across the country. What an honor. So eager to meet her customers' needs and desires, Noleen has proved to be understanding and actually pays attention to what the customer wants. Ultimately, that's the most important thing in retail. So selling cars and doing what she does, she knows that the customer's needs are of utmost importance. With customers' expectations continuing to evolve, Noleen constantly innovates to evolve her own dealership experience. She understands the impact that a positive experience at her dealership can have for a customer, and she strives to keep that. I've spent some time with Noleen off air. What a phenomenal woman. I'm sitting here so humbled right now. And yeah, I can't wait to get into this interview. So let's welcome Noleen. And as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Seriti Solutions and Evo by Nedbank. Hello, Noleen.
Hello, Desh.
Isn't it so true, everything I just said about you?
Well, I'm in awe. Thank you so much. Thank you. All those good attributes that you have of what you've just said about me, and I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. I really am honored to be here, and just
Noleen,
to be part of this great initiative you have taken to empower women and just make a little bit of difference and a little bit of change out there.
Oh, thank you so much. Coming from you, like I said, you know, it's not often in this industry that you get to sit with women in leadership, especially women in ownership. And that's what we are striving towards as women in South Africa and women in the motoring trade, to own. And that's what you own, a Toyota dealership. Wow, well done. Let's talk about, okay, firstly, the reason you're here and we met is because you've been nominated for the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards. You ended up in top 30 in the excellence category. That's why we invited you. So congratulations, by the way, with that one.
Thank you. And thank you to those that believe in me and took the time to nominate me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I'm glad I am seen out there as someone that is putting back into the industry.
Absolutely, you are. So take us through your journey. How did all of this begin?
How much time have you got, Desh?
Gosh, we've spoken briefly off air, but I want to spend some time, if load shedding allows us to. I want to spend some time talking about you motor trade, because there's a bit of experience behind that as well. You've been through you had farming experience as well. You went through tragedies. Let's go from there. Right?
Okay, I'm going to try and condense this long story. Mm-hmm. So, Desh, I'm going to say I don't have any education. So, ladies, you don't need all those titles behind your name. So, I don't have an education. I wasn't privileged enough to go to varsity, but I did decide I would like to be in the finance world. So I joined the motor industry as an F&R. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I was at different dealership floors, so I experienced all the franchises. I learned how to interact with the people, but it was not my dream. My dream was to become at-home mommy. Mm-hmm. So when it was time for me to have children, I was given, my husband then decided, let's go and have quality of life. And he was with Ford Motor Company, and Ford Motor Company had relocated to Pretoria from the BE area, and him being a mechanical engineer, we decided to go farming. And lived in a rondavel, no electricity, no generators. We started off with paraffin lamps, but made the most of what was there, and that's an important thing in anything we do in life.
Yes.
Make the most of the opportunities that are given to you.
Absolutely.
So I farmed and I homeschooled my kids from very young, RR into grade 2, 3, and one of the other little girls, and we had a bad incident on the farm, which made us decide to go back into our professions. And at that time, Kowie Toyota was liquidated. They were busy digging up the fuel tanks. My connection with Port Alfred at that time was we used to holiday there as kids. Never ever thought I would live in Port Alfred. But my dad had retired there. So we decided, my dad, myself, and my then husband, that we would take over Kowie Toyota and start from scratch, nothing. And then the Toyota total dealership as well. So we did that, and it's 22 years now that I'm there. I have since bought, I did go through divorce, so I am still a single mommy, just loving what I'm doing. And I then bought my ex-husband out, and then my dad, and I am now a woman alone, so we can do that, ladies.
Absolutely. And you're also part of the Toyota, the dealer council, right? What do you do there?
Yes, Desh. I am the regional chair lady of the Eastern Cape for Toyota. I have been on that national dealer council for, it could be up to 12, but definitely 10 years.
Wow.
So that is, I love it.
Amazing.
So there again, ladies. And I also am the chair lady of the southern east coast of the total dealerships. So I am representing the regions for those two franchises.
Absolutely amazing. Like I said, I'm in awe of you. You're my inspiration, my new inspiration.
That's kind.
Wow. So what is, we talked again off air about how you feel about our initiatives. What is your opinion about women empowerment in the motoring trade?
You know, Desh, the motoring trade is so diverse. There is so many aspects about it. We mustn't see it as the motoring trade. You have to be a technician. It's not about that, and I have faced that. I've had, what do you know in the motoring trade? And I said, I empower the men to do what they're good at. So I have a technician with a profession because he's the master at it. I don't have to be the master of that. I oversee it.
Right.
So it's very diverse, and there are certainly departments that women will way over excel and are meant to be for women. Women have, I believe, that nurturing soft skills. I really believe in soft skills. So when it comes to customer services, I believe that women do excel. And I mean, God made us bear kids. So what does that tell us? We can do it. We can do anything.
Absolutely. And you know, having said that, you talked about off air again, you talked about the anchor. You have a tattoo, an anchor tattooed on your hand because people told you will never be able to make it.
Yes.
Well, by the way, she's an owner. She's an owner. I don't get to say that often, so you're going to hear this throughout the interview. She is an owner of a Toyota dealership. So why do you think that women actually do well in our trade, except for the empathy and for compassion and the soft skills you talk about?
I do believe we multitask. I think we have a passion for what we do. I by no means say that anyone in their trade don't have a passion, but we are go-getters. Yeah. We stickers, I would put it that way. And once we put our mind to something, and I know that, and we'll go back to the anchor, I look at it, I continually look at it, and I say, I will not sink. And I believe that is, you know, why a woman can be successful.
Yes.
And besides the soft issues and the empathy and the nurturing and the caring thing about it, we're diverse. We can do whatever we put our mind to. And
Absolutely.
it's all about our attitude. Attitude in anything, no matter who you are, is going to bring success.
Right. Noleen, how do you actually measure success?
Desh, I believe that success is not only in the balance sheet, it's not only financial. There's a big balance in being successful. I believe that my biggest asset is my staff. My staff wouldn't be there without my clients, my guests, whatever way you want to call them. And I believe that to be successful, one has to have a chain. You've got to be a necklace. There's got to be a clasp, and that may be the dealer principal, the owner. But every link that is part of that chain is your departments, your management, your staff, your guests. Not happy staff, not happy guests. No guests, no staff, no management, nothing.
Absolutely.
And that is what builds the strength. Just one weak link. And I also very much believe in, and it's a word that Toyota believes in, Kaizen. So every day a little bit of improvement.
Right. So I think I attribute your success to this. You never gave or took any excuse. Is that right?
Very true. I do say no excuses. I'm often heard say I don't want to use the excuse, and procrastination does not form part of my dictionary.
Now, procrastination is the grave of all opportunities, so definitely. But I just get that from you. You look like a woman that will take no excuse or give no excuse. So what is your management style like?
I do lead by example. I do lead by example. I do believe in getting down, getting your hands dirty. If a car needs to be washed, I'll wash the car.
You look that type as well.
I have been.
You live in a rondavel. You live in a rondavel with no electricity.
Made the most of it. Very often on the forecourt, pumping petrol, and the people love it. Makes you humble.
Yes.
So that is part of my management style. But I'm also a very policy and procedure person. So I believe in policies and procedures. I do believe if you make them, you carry them out.
Absolutely. So any words of advice for young women? Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No,
okay.
no, not at all.
Any advice for young women that want to join our trade?
Why not? Go for it. As I mentioned, I do believe it's about your attitude.
Yes.
And you got to believe in yourself. I want to refer to something. When I was young, I had a BDO, which would be a senior manager, business development officer.
Okay.
And I was a young lady, and he'd walk in, brush his hair, and he'd look at himself and he'd say, "I'm good." And if you watched, you'd know who he is. And I used to say, I'm going to mention his name, Roland. Hate you. How can you be so arrogant? You know what, ladies? When you're good, you're good. And I am quite happy to say, I know I'm good at what I do, and that's what we got to do.
Absolutely.
If you believe in yourself, you got the right attitude, you will not sink.
Because quality performance actually begins with positive attitude. Absolutely.
100%.
Noleen, I just want to say thank you for traveling so far. I feel so special right now. We are also appreciative, when a woman like yourself comes through for us and uses this platform and your nomination to pay it forward. Because that's what it's all about. It's about educating, uplifting, enriching, encouraging. We have 30,000 people following us, most from this trade actually, most women from the trade that wants to move up the ranks. And it's women like yourself that's going to encourage this. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, Desh, if I can just say thank you. Keep up the good work. I I know you see a lot of women and you must be in absolute awe of them, but likewise, we in awe of you for taking the initiative, and if we can support in any way. And I do believe that if it's just a little change we can make in somebody's life, we've served our purpose. And that's what we're here for.
Thank you so much, Noleen. Thank you. It means the world to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, viewers. I thank you for watching, commenting and sharing our interviews and content. Our non-profit company is the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, which is powered by MFC and Evo by Nedbank, and the Talk the Talk Studios, which is powered by Sariti Solutions and Evo by Nedbank, are aimed at recognizing and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. And I strongly believe that women like Noleen should be celebrated. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. Together, we aim to empower and uplift the women of our trade. And for those of you that are searching for your new ride, please visit www.otto.evo.africa. We have thousands of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is incredibly user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews and car maintenance tips and advice, all courtesy of Talk the Talk Studios. I'd like to end this session off with a little bit of an not emotional piece, but something maybe even inspired by people like Noleen or Noleen herself. A person sees in the world what she carries in her heart. Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. And in order to carry a positive action, you must develop a positive vision. Now, I said earlier on, quality performance starts with a positive attitude, and I think that really ties into what I'm saying here. You can't make positive choices for the rest of your life without an environment that makes those choices easy, natural, and enjoyable. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or to even lose. And with that, I would like to remind you that the question isn't who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.